What's up, everybody? Welcome to episode 59 of the Hot Stove Podcast. I'm your host, Zach Nunez, joined here by Mark and Josh. Austin would be here, but he's apparently got a quote-unquote hot date. I don't really know what that means. It probably means that he just didn't want to show up, which, to be fair, yeah, that's understandable.
Yeah.
Josh is dying.
Yeah.
Over on camera. This is the clickbait moment that we were talking about, Mark.
Yeah.
It's not even going to be me that has to die on camera. It'll be Josh. To be fair, if I died on camera like we talked about earlier, I would want you guys to carry on the show. I wouldn't want that to be the end of Hot Stove. I'd want you to use my death as clickbait, get as many subs as possible, and then keep going.
Yeah.
In your honor.
Yeah, in my honor for sure. So yeah, we're gonna get started. We're doing something a little fun tonight. Talking about some things we like in baseball. But before we get started on that, make sure to follow us on Twitter at Hot Stove Pod. That's at Hot Stove Pod on Twitter. Here on the YouTube channel, subscribe to it. Like the video. I'm putting my computer on Do Not Disturb because my text messages are exploding and I don't want to hear that. Subscribe to the channel. Like the video. Every like is one less minute towards death that Josh Boehm is.
Every like is $10 to the Ukraine Foundation. You know, we're trying to.
I cannot pledge that.
No.
We're helping them out.
If I had the money, I would pledge that. But
that's what we're doing.
We make no money from this, Josh.
We're giving it back with the same.
All right.
All of the money we make off of this, we are donating.
That's right.
I will sign off on that. I will sign off on that for sure. What else? What else?
This is going to be the video that gets huge.
Please, yes. Yes. Clickbait. We need more clickbait.
Yeah. What other clickbait can we do?
Baseball podcasters save Ukraine. Yeah.
That's the episode.
And one dies.
Yeah, and one dies. That's the episode title. The baseball podcaster saved Ukraine while one dies. Hashtag gone wrong. Hashtag gone sexual. Cops called.
Hashtag
India.
Spock.
Hashtag
Needs of the many
Spock.
outweigh the needs of the few.
Hashtag ugly bastard. That's a hentai category if anybody was wondering. All right. So for today's show, Mark, do you have anything else to plug while I'm here?
Watch my baseball podcast with Rick Weiner, What's in the Box Score. Tune into Outside the Box Score. That's sometimes on Colorcast at 3. We're getting real loosey-goosey with it now.
It's falling off the rails.
It's way off the rails.
I'm available this Friday at 3.
I'll let you know.
Oh no.
I should be good. I should be good this week. So
all
right. Have I put anything out writing wise since the last time?
Yes,
I have.
The Northman.
I wrote a review on the Northman last week for Grapevine Media, so go check that out as well. It's on my Twitter page. You can see it in the bottom here, the show and the banner. And I should be going to see Doctor Strange at some point soon. So I guess
it comes out like tomorrow, doesn't it?
Thursday.
May 6th.
Thursday.
Yeah.
May 4th?
May 5th is Thursday.
Oh yeah, damn it.
Yeah. So I'm gonna go see that at some point, and I'll have a thing up for that, I assume, as well as an episode of Popcorn Pillow Talk if we ever decide to record that show again. Who the hell knows? So get into the content today, right? I don't have any trivia. I don't have any.
Who was the first draft pick in Major League Baseball history?
Yeah. Unfortunately, Mark has already told us, and I still don't remember. So,
yeah, I got nothing.
Yeah.
Rick Monday.
Let's do a segment here. Actually, now that I think.
Ooh,
Mark,
segment.
Can I share my screen?
Yeah, go for it.
Segment.
Okay, we're gonna play a game, or we're gonna try and figure something out here. You know the game Wordle?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna be doing. You know what we're gonna do?
Wordle.
We are gonna do. Is this?
Oh, I gotta do the thing.
Can you do the thing? All right.
Oh God. Oh God.
All right. Give me 1 second. Does that help it?
No,
I don't see anything.
no. I took it off. I
Can you
took
put it
away.
back on though? Oh God.
All
All
right, do
right.
it
Give me
again.
1 second. We'll figure this out. I swear.
I can just get I can get Wardle up.
But I want to do it.
Yeah,
I'm the
let Zach do
producer
it,
of the
man.
show.
All right. We're sharing Wardle.
Yeah,
You can
let
see my
Jamie
screen
do
now.
it.
You can
Jamie,
see it.
pull it
Can
up.
you see it on the screen?
Nope.
What?
No,
All right,
can't.
now we got it. Now we got it.
Okay.
I have to add it and take it away from the screen. So
All right. So we're going to do Wardle today because we don't have any other content. So, Josh, have you done this game before?
Yeah, I've done it once.
Okay. And then
It was a
Mark
Reds
obviously
player and I
has
missed
done
it.
it, and as I have done it as well. So we're gonna do it live here on the show. So we're gonna start. We'll rotate with guesses. How about that?
All right.
I'll go first. My first guess. I haven't really pinned down a first guess for Wardle. Usually, my first guess for Pirtle, which is the basketball one. My first guess is normally Furkan Korkmaz for the Philadelphia
Nice.
76ers.
Oh yeah.
He's been my first guess as of late. I'm still waiting for him to be the player. But anyways, we're going to go with the first guess here, and we're going to go with a guy who just won AL Pitcher of the Month for the month of May, for the first month of the season. That's my long shot to win AL MVP. That's Logan Gilbert, or AL Cy Young. Logan Gilbert. So here, what we have is we know he throws right-handed. He's a U.S. guy. Not a starter. And the yellow on the division can mean one of two things, actually. It can either mean that it's an American League player that's not in the AL West, or it's an NL West player. I figured that out. That it can mean either. So, Josh, how about you give us a second guess here?
All right. We'll go with oh no, that's AL West.
So you know he's not a starting pitcher.
Right. No, I was gonna go Kyle Seager, but he's in the AL West, isn't he? The Mariner.
He's retired.
Oh. All right.
But yes, he was.
I saw that clip of him yesterday.
he was also.
All right,
Logan Gilbert's also on the Mariners, and we know this guy isn't on the Mariners.
Oh, that was. I mean, that's solid. All right. We're gonna go. We'll go with Brandon Crawford.
Okay, we'll see if he's part of the NL West.
I like that.
He is not. So he's an American League player.
He's a
Mark,
lefty.
what kind of guess do you have here?
I'm gonna go with. I'm gonna go with Andrew Benintendi.
All right, so he's an American League East outfielder, it looks like.
Oh yeah, he throws left-handed too.
Yeah. So it looks like we're looking at an AL East outfielder who bats left-handed, 27 years old as well. My guess is going to be Joey Gallo.
I like that.
Okay.
Oh, he's 28. I actually thought that was it.
So
center fielder.
Josh?
Ooh, this makes it tricky.
I think I might know it.
Oh God, I don't know players this well. Oh, Cedric Mullins.
That's actually a good guess. I hadn't even thought of that. That's not even the one I was thinking of, but fortunately, not correct.
Damn it.
I've one of Mark. So we know he's either on the Rays, Jays, or Red Sox.
Guess the Rays one because I got no fucking clue on it, Mark.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. Oh, no, because that's Kevin Kiermaier, and he's older than 27.
Or is he?
Certainly.
Yes, I technically is, yeah.
I think he's like 31. It's not Jackie Bradley. Who plays center for the Jays? George Springer.
He's a righty though.
Yeah, I would also say don't get too held up on the specific position, I guess.
I was like, does Lourdes Gurriel?
He's a righty.
Oh.
I don't know as if the
Raimel
Brewers actually have a
Tapia?
left-handed bat in their lineup.
Goes
Raimel
Raimel-
Tapia is actually a good guess, but I don't know. He's not American, I don't think, but I'll put it in.
Oh, no, he is an American. I forgot. You can guess it anyway. See if we get the team.
No. I believe the answer is Alex Verdugo.
Oh,
No.
Oh, yeah, he throws
not
left-handed
Boston.
too.
So he plays for the Rays. Is it Josh Lowe?
Give me Kevin
No,
Kiermaier.
Not Josh.
We're
No,
going to throw Kevin Kiermaier out there.
Yeah.
We need some clarity here.
Oh my
Okay.
God, Mark was so right.
Is it Josh Lowe? No, Brandon Lowe.
Brandon Lowe's the second baseman.
Yeah,
Is
do
he
the
also
Rays have a
not?
Josh Lowe too? Are
They
there
do.
3 Lowe's in the American League?
Josh Lowe is correct. Oh,
Hey,
no, never mind.
no.
It was Brett Phillips.
He's a hero.
It was Brett Phillips.
All right, now we
Damn.
got to do Pirtle.
I already did Pirtle today.
Okay.
All right, Mark,
Josh
pull it
and I
up.
haven't.
Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second to make sure I have already done Pirtle today. I have. Okay. We're going to do that too. But anyways, we might actually bring this back on the show because this was fun.
I like it.
Yeah, I kind of forget that it was that it could be like non-starters. Yeah. All right. Pirtle, Josh, take the first guess here.
Oh, wait.
Okay.
Oh, wrong one.
It was the same screen the whole time.
Sometimes these things like to be topical, or have some sort of thing. So
There we go.
I'm trying to think about players that may be hot right now or maybe
Mhm.
in the news. So I'm gonna go with I literally had the name. Jalen Brunson.
Okay. Oh, you got the division,
Okay.
which is a very important part.
Here's the thing. I can't, for whatever reason, I cannot get the NBA divisions in my head.
I
It's
will
the
tell you what teams are in
Jazz,
the Southwest
Suns.
Division. It is outside of the Mavericks. It's the Spurs. It is the Grizzlies. It is the
Okay.
Pelicans, and it is. Now I have to look it up.
Yeah, like I never get them right. So Spurs, Grizzlies, Pelicans.
Are the Suns not in that one?
No, they're in the Pacific.
Oh.
The final team is the Rockets.
Rockets.
Spurs, the
taller than-
Grizzlies, the Pelicans, and the Rockets. We do know that he is roughly 25 years old, a little bit younger, and a little bit taller, at least, than 6'1". So, what these yellow things mean is that you're within 2.
Was that your guess, Zach?
No, that was my guess. Zach
Oh.
already got it.
Oh, right.
Mark is doing it on his screen now.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Oh no, I did it on my phone. I have it pulled up on my laptop here. Anyways, keep
Gotcha.
going.
Oh,
Sorry.
Okay.
It was fine either way.
Yeah, I think this is another one. 22 and 25 in between there. I think I got it here if I'm right. Guy who's just banging all throughout the playoffs for the Memphis Grizzlies, Desmond Bain.
yep. That's exactly who I was thinking.
Good job. Good job. I couldn't for the life of me remember who it was until you said that name, and I was like, that's who it was today.
Damn.
'Cause I usually do it every morning. It's like one of the first things I do when I wake up. Or one of the first things I do when it's like 12:30 at night. I still haven't gone to bed.
That's always when I do it.
Yeah. So that was Pirtle and Wardle. We'll bring those back next time for sure. But anyways, let's get into some of the content for the show this week. I didn't really feel like talking about the NBA playoffs. I don't know why. Excuse me. For context, it's 11 p.m. when we're recording this right now. I just wanted to talk about some fun stuff, and mostly in celebration of Miguel Cabrera getting his 3,000th hit, and generally being one of the all-time cool guys in baseball.
Very cool.
We have some superlatives that we want to give out. It's actually pretty simple. We have 5 categories, and then we're each going to give our picks for them, and that'll be it. We have our favorite player of all time, our favorite current player that's not on your favorite team, a player that's grown on you over time. Maybe you didn't like him before, and now you like him. Something like that. A player you think is underrated. And then a final award that, for right now, I will just refer to as the Travis Ishikawa Award. I'll explain further when we get there.
I feel like it should be pretty self-explanatory.
To people who know, for sure.
Yeah.
I'll explain further when we get there, but we're not there right now. So let's just start simple. Who's your favorite player of all time? Let me know.
Josh?
Yeah, this one might have shocked. I'd sent these to Mark on Twitter for some reason.
Yeah,
I thought
Mark told me that before.
Only send me the YouTube link for the
ending one,
Ishikawa Award. Yeah,
right. Well, I didn't do that. So Mark knows mine. Might be a little bit of a surprise here, but it's A-Rod. A-Rod was like the sole reason why I wanted to play Little League. It was sick. Like every day I got the high socks going, the big step. He's a friggin' icon. I love that dude. And especially growing up a Yankees fan, like most sick. An A-bomb from A-Rod, too easy.
Yeah, man.
Beautiful.
I do love some A-Rod myself. Personally, when it talked about my favorite player of all time, I did go with another Yankees player, of course, being a Yankees fan and whatnot. But respectfully, I got to go with the captain, Derek Jeter. He was always my favorite player growing up. It wasn't even really much of a contest. He was my favorite player in the same terms as like, you know, Tiger Woods was to me. Like those are athletes that like my dad passed down his love for. Because my dad's a huge Tiger guy. My dad was a huge Jeter guy. My dad was a huge Vince Carter guy. And we talked about my history with Vince Carter being my favorite player of all time. So Derek Jeter to me is an icon of not only Yankees baseball, but I think it's fair to say an icon of professional sport. And the countless moments and great things that Jeter did for the Yankees as a player, and you know, being what I would assume or what I would say to be a great ambassador for the sport in his time after retirement. Yeah, shout out to Derek Jeter, and also one of my favorite pictures of all time was the SB or the Sports Nation graphic of the diamond of all the women that Derek Jeter dated during his career.
So good.
It's a very funny picture.
It's a very funny picture.
It's a very funny picture.
My favorite player of all time is the guy that literally wrote the book on hitting. I've got the book right here. That's Ted Williams.
He wrote a book on hitting.
The science of hitting, baby.
I mean, I see that. I just didn't know.
It's like it's also got one of my favorite graphics of all time. What Ted Williams think he hit batting average wise based on where the pitch was in the strike zone. There's a model of that in the Hall of Fame, and I look at it every single time I go. It's so cool where they like took baseballs and placed them inside a strike zone. Yeah, he was the greatest hitter of all time. He, you know, is someone that for a lot of Red Sox fans, they have somewhat mixed feelings on because he's kind of an asshole. But you got to be an asshole to play in Boston, in my opinion, because most of the fans are assholes. So you really just fit right in. Just a super interesting guy. He's in the Fishing Hall of Fame as well. A lot of people don't know that. Great fisherman.
The Angler Hall of Fame.
Yeah, professional fisherman in the off seasons.
Is that true? Where is the Fishing Hall of Fame? Do you know where that is?
No idea, but I would love to go and see Teddy Ballgame's plaque. Also, wingman to John Glenn, one of the first astronauts. He was his wingman in World War II. So it doesn't get much cooler than Ted Williams.
The Freshwater Fishing Hall of Fame is located in Hayward, Wisconsin.
I will be making a trip to Hayward. I don't know if there's a plaque room or anything, but
Mark, if you could Google the Freshwater Fishing Hall of Fame and pull up a picture of what the building looks like, that would be much appreciated.
Is it cool or?
Yeah, it's very cool. It's very cool.
What the?
Does it look like the Bass Pro Shop tennis.
Oh, the big pyramid? No, unfortunately, it doesn't
Oh
look
no,
like the eighth wonder of the world.
much cooler. It's a goddamn northern pike.
Yeah.
That's a goddamn
Well,
northern pike.
the picture you see to the left of it there is people standing out the mouth of it. Yeah.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
It's like a lot of walking in there. You gotta walk up each side.
That's usually how those things work.
How does the Freshwater Fishing Hall of Fame have a cooler building than any other Hall of Fame?
It's the only thing they put money into. I don't know. Mark, sidebar. How many Hall of Fames have you been to?
One.
Just one?
Yeah, just the Baseball Hall of Fame.
Okay. You haven't even been to like any random, like you haven't been to like the Jello Hall of Fame?
The boxing one's close to you,
well, yeah,
right, Mark?
The Boxing Hall of Fame is like 40 minutes from my house. Never been there.
Why?
I don't know.
Go for the induction ceremony in gym.
Well, that's the thing. They actually get a ton of people to the induction. Like a ton of boxers. They have like a huge parade. Apparently they're all a lot of them are super nice guys, and they spend a lot of time signing autographs. I would have a ball with that, and I've never been.
This year also, by the way, I hate to interrupt, Mark. We might have to make a trip together to go, because
is money going
doing
in
the last? What'd you say?
Is Mayweather going in this year, or did he go in last year? He might have gone in last year.
I don't know. This year, it's headlined by Roy Jones Jr. and Miguel Cotto.
Roy Jones Jr., that's right.
But anyways, they're doing the last 13 or the last 3 Hall of Fame induction ceremonies this year.
Oh, dude, that'll be sick.
Because of the panini. So we'll look at that after the show, actually.
Yeah. But no, I've never been in that. I have been to the Toy Hall of Fame at the
Rochester Museum Science Center. Or not the Rochester National Museum of Play. Sorry.
Yeah, the Strong Museum.
Yeah.
So I've been to that one, but that doesn't really count.
I live about an hour and 10 minutes away from the Basketball Hall of Fame and have for the last 8 months, and I still haven't been.
You should get around to that.
I graduate in 2 weeks, Mark. I probably should. I probably should get around to that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What about you, Josh? How many Hall of Fames have you been to?
I want to say, I'm only one too. There's so many potential ones too, like the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Oh, I have been to that. I forgot about that.
There's 3. One for you.
That makes it 3 for me.
Okay. Toronto's the hockey one. It's close enough. I should have been to. I want to say I've been to Springfield, but I don't think I have. Like I feel like it's a weird one. It's just the NFL or just the.
Yeah, I've been to the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Great place.
Canton.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh.
I've been to the Baseball Hall of Fame once upon a time. I remember none of it. So, maybe I should go back at some point.
I can give you guys the full fucking tour. I know that place better than I know my own house.
And then I've been to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, which was cool. It was cool. When I was there, their big traveling exhibit at the time was about Paul Simon. So it was a whole thing. All right. Well, next category. Favorite current player that's not on your favorite team. So no, Josh, you cannot choose Joey Votto.
Right.
No,
right.
Mark, you cannot choose Rafael Devers. And no, me, I cannot choose
Aaron Judge.
I don't. I'm out. I'm out on the Yankees.
I was gonna say you sort of hate everyone on the Yankees.
Yeah, I can't choose. I can't choose. I can't choose Robbie Ray or something like that. I'm in on the Mariners.
Chisholm.
No comment. So Josh, we'll start with you.
Yeah. Well, he was a guy drafted last year in fantasy. Stole my heart. It was one of those things. I read an article that was like, these are the players from each team you need to own, sleepers. And dude, Austin Riley was that guy. Austin Riley's a stud. He's young. He was He was the MVP of the Braves last year. I mean, MVP candidate in his own right. Guy's a baller. I'm an Austin Riley stan.
So for myself, at least, you'd think I'd go with a player that has swag, right? Because that's usually my
You got
go-to.
the drip.
So like, yeah, of course I love Ronald Acuna. Of course I love Fernando Tatis, right? Like these are givens, you know. Who doesn't like Fernando Tatis Jr.? I don't know.
Old whites.
Old whites probably. I could go with Ohtani. What is there to not like about Shohei Ohtani? Nothing. I could go with Jazz Chisholm, but unfortunately, due to my intense Marlins fandom, he's ineligible for this conversation. So I'll go with a different kind of player that I really like, and that's the baseball dad variety. Now, normally, one of the guys you think about when you talk about baseball dad is Anthony Rizzo, but unfortunately, Anthony Rizzo plays in for the team that I kind of root for sometimes. I say this knowing damn well they've won 10 straight. But the answer is the baseball dad for me. That's one Fredward Freeman.
Mm-hmm.
Ultimate mensch. Seems like a nice guy. He's good at baseball.
Ronald Acuna hates him, but
allegedly, I don't know as to whether or not Ronald Acuna actually hates him.
No, he probably doesn't actually hate him, but that was a weird comment to see.
Freddie Freeman, certified good at baseball, certified good guy. His interactions with his son are the best.
I love Charlie. I would die.
I'll never forget when Charlie said that he had to step his numbers up because he wanted to go meet Fernando at the All-Star game.
Mm-hmm.
Because Charlie Freeman's favorite player is Fernando Tatis Jr., which, you know, dad is an MVP and World Series champion, but Fernando's cooler, rightfully. Yeah. Fredward Freeman is my pick.
For me, this was the Bryce Harper Award for a long time. It was just go-to favorite player, not on my favorite team. But then my favorite player on my favorite team no longer plays for my favorite team.
Oh, that's a cheap answer.
Therefore, Andrew Benintendi is my favorite player not playing on the Red Sox.
I thought about doing it with Castellanos.
Yeah, you could have done it with Castellanos. Yeah. It's cheap, but I don't care because Andrew Benintendi is my favorite player. Period. I love the guy. I mean, the flow that he doesn't really have anymore. He keeps his hair shorter now. The smooth left-handed swing, the great outfield defense. I'm so happy he's succeeding in Kansas City because I never wanted him to leave, but I want the best for my baby boy Benintendi.
Another answer I could have given for mine also was Julio Rodriguez.
No, that's a good one. Yeah,
chalk that one up.
Absolutely nuked his first career home run.
Yeah, that guy is good at baseball, certifiably. Hashtag good at baseball. I hope that came up on the broadcast, by the way.
I don't think it did. I didn't want it to. Mark's out on me. Mark's out on me talking about that anymore.
No, you're not in on talking about that anymore.
Mark's out on publicly talking.
Because I was going to do that bit.
I am out on talking.
Thank God you said that
publicly.
Thank God you said that because I was just about to do the bit.
No, in the private chat, it doesn't come up.
Okay, yeah, that's good enough.
Cool.
I see you.
Yeah.
Wink.
So we're gonna move on and do a bit of a more contentious award, if you will. That's not even an award. A contentious topic. It's a player that's grown on you. Maybe you didn't like them, and now you tolerate them. Maybe you didn't like them. And now you really like them. Maybe you thought they were overrated, and now you see the light. You know, Josh, what's your answer for a player that's grown on you over time?
This is a tough one. I hold a lot of grudges. You know, once you're dead to me, you're dead to me. And boy, this was hard. I kind of gave a crappy answer, just as one I could think of. Yeah, because I just hate what I hate. But I will say one player that has kind of reversed that thought is Vlad Jr. I know what you're thinking. How could you not have liked Vlad Jr.?
Because you
Just a
hate
guy,
Tom. We know that.
right?
Right.
Exactly. That's right. But now he's one for the big boys club. He's like a better Miguel Sano I get to watch.
He is
you
a
just hit
much better
nukes.
man. He's one of the 5 best hitters in baseball, and Miguel Sano sucks. So yeah,
Right. But they
Mhm.
big boys.
Yeah.
They big fellas, and he hits bombs, and he's sick. And the Jays are fun. So Vlad Jr. I just didn't like him, obviously. Big anti-fun guy myself, but
Yeah, Josh Canopy is like a guy that's 3 years younger than me is coming up being good and having fun. Can't have it. Cannot
right,
possibly have it.
exactly. But he is a legacy, so that's cool too.
Answer for me is tied to my Yankees fandom. Every single mouth breathing Yankees fan on the internet, and trust me, there are a lot of them, and they do suck.
Millions.
Will go on at length about how they wish that every member of the 2017 Houston Astros dies in a hole or something like that. Respectfully, there are a couple of them. One, Jose Altuve, in which I still hold that opinion. That way, he will not be the answer to this question for myself. But part of it, I think it's one of the prefaces I brought up applies here, and a player that I kind of thought he was overrated. It was kind of overrated, and now I get it. And maybe now I get it more that he's not in Houston anymore. And that's Carlos Correa. Again, maybe it's because I'm also, generally speaking, physically incapable of holding a grudge towards most people. I just simply do not care.
Fair.
Especially for the multitude of reasons in which the Yankees still had every opportunity to win a series in which they were also cheating. It does not bother me that unfortunately they lost, and maybe they lost because the Astros cheated better than them. I don't know. Cheat harder. I don't know what the hell to tell you.
I like that.
But Carlos Correa, certified good at baseball. Honorable mention for this also would have been Manny Machado for myself. Manny Machado, certified great at baseball. That guy is a freaking ball player. And that was another guy who I probably would have said a couple years ago that he was like mad overrated or something like that. But Manny Machado's that dude, and I like him quite a bit. Also, another guy who has fun out there on the diamond.
Your two answers are two guys that I still just despise. I don't like either of those guys. Correa, I just think is a douche. And I also think is overrated. I don't think Manny Machado is overrated, but I will never forgive him for ending Dustin Pedroia's career. It's just something I can't do. But I did go with, this was a choice between two former Chicago Cubs outfielders for me, and I don't know why.
It's about to get really esoteric with it. It's going to be like Jason Hayward and Cameron Maybin or something like that.
No. Both these guys are still playing and on different teams now. I've come around into, like, I thought they were both overrated at first. I didn't think either of them were really going to turn into much, and they've both proven me wrong, and they've both grown on me. But the one I went with, because he played for my favorite team, is Kyle Schwarber. I have completely turned around on Kyle Schwarber. When he first came up, I was like, this guy's expectations are way too high. There's way too many holes in his swing. He was a catcher, and then he was an outfielder, and then they were doing all these things with him, and I was like, this is just Joe Madden being Joe Madden. He'll hit a few home runs and he'll fizzle out. No. Kyle Schwarber is that dude. He hits baseballs a million miles, especially apparently if they come off of Max Scherzer. Because he just hit 2 last night and absolutely destroyed the first one. And the second one, he dropped down on one knee and took a changeup that was down and away over the right center field fence. So big fan of Kyle Schwarber. The second one was Jorge Soler, who now plays for Nunez's Miami Marlins.
Soler power, baby.
I thought he was a flash in the pan when he first came up. And it sort of looked like he was for a couple of years. And it was like, man, What happened to Jorge Soler? Well, he went to Kansas City and hit 49 home runs. That's what happened. So then he won World Series MVP last year. That's a guy who has a ton of fun and swings the bat harder than maybe anyone I've ever seen. I mean, just how physically hard he swings blows my mind. And that's how you know when he makes contact, like the one he hit the other night that was like 478 feet. It's going to go a country mile.
Kyle Schwarber, president of the current day Country Strong Club.
Hey, Daniel Vogelbach still plays.
Well, Daniel Vogelbach, he would be president. That dude's raking the first couple weeks of the season. I don't know what the hell happened. But anyways, another entry for this could have been, for myself at least, one. Give me 1 second.
Is he still a Brewer, Daniel Vogelbach?
No, he's a
He's
Pirate.
with the Pirates now.
That's why no
He's
one
their
knows
leadoff
where he
man.
is.
He's best leadoff?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Kinky.
Giancarlo Cruz, Michael Stanton would have been another good answer for myself because I'm sure that when I lived with Austin freshman year and I was still getting the old sea legs in the baseball world, Austin probably very much so convinced me that Stanton sucked. And now in the year of our Lord 2022, I would defend that man with my whole life. So there's one player that I like a lot. That's on my favorite team. That's like the one guy. Is that because you want to talk about a guy who hits balls hard? Surprisingly, no one in baseball hits balls harder than Giancarlo Cruz, Michael Stanton.
This is true.
And that is a statistically proven fact. So yeah, that's another one. So we're going to move on. Go here towards our mentions for underrated player. What's a player that you think people don't talk about enough? People don't quite understand how good they are. Maybe. Josh, what do you got?
I'll tell you this. You know, it's hard to really get your what's that?
So Josh is about to go. Well, when you look at Nick Senzel,
no, I don't know. It's hard to really pick an underrated player when you don't quite have your finger on the pulse of Major League Baseball. But I will say that this is a guy who I drafted this year, number 3 in all fantasy scoring through like the first month of the year. I never hear him. I hear him from us because he's Nunez's boy, but I feel like this dude is not chatted about enough, and it's Jazz Chisholm. Maybe I'm wrong. Again, not too in on the baseball world, obviously, but like, it doesn't translate into the bigger sense to me. I never.
I will say that part of the reason that you don't necessarily see all of his the fanfare for him is that he's got a lot of, in terms of his batted ball profile, and this is where I'll start sharing my screen because I have a lot of baseball savant numbers to look at here in this category. Give me 1 second. All right. So when you look at Jazz Chisholm's baseball reference page or baseball savant page here with the StatCast metrics, you'll see a couple of things. In particular, obviously, dude's fast. Dude plays good defense. The big improvement this year is that he's been hitting the ball really well. You can see here a gradual increase over his last 100 plate appearances in his XWOB. He's actually hitting the ball a lot better than he was last year. But the thing is that when I say, I don't know if I've said already, he's got a lot of Javi Baez in his profile in that he's so toolsy. And it's actually the same thing that has helped Adolis Garcia in his breakout. Is that he's very toolsy, and that helps overcome the fact that he is pretty he isn't disciplined at all at the plate. Jazz has he's quite high on the old strikeout business, and doesn't walk very much. So there are certainly holes in the game, and he's only 24 years old. Dude's electric as well. So I'm all here for it. That's one of the things I like looking at. When you go to Baseball Savant here, this is some real nerdy shit. Josh, I don't know if you ever frequent this page very often, but you'll see that there are tangible improvements that Jazz has made to his game this year, specifically in some of his advanced metrics. His OPS obviously being a lot higher than it has been. But I mean, you know me. You know what? He's my, like you said, he's my boy.
He is.
He's my boy. I love Jazz Chisholm. So I've got 2 entries for this because I couldn't quite pick one. I have one that I think is genuinely underrated, and one that I think that the breakout is happening underneath our eyes or underneath our nose. And when I originally wrote this a week ago, the manager was the one holding this guy back, but because of injuries, that hasn't. He's been playing every day. So we'll go with that one first, and that is one. It used to be a top prospect. That's Andrew Vaughn of the Chicago White Sox. So
I love this guy.
So top prospect. He comes up last year. Didn't have the best season last year when you look at the numbers here. I mean, he had some good metrics here. An XBA of 243. But when you look at it this year, you look at the page here, whole lot of red. No Playboy Cardi. Top 5 percentile in xWOBA, hard hit percentage, xSlug. He's top 15 in max exit velo, XBA, K percentage. He's not striking out as much as he did last year. 90th percentile whiff percentage as well. His chase rate has gone down, or has gotten better, I should say. Still doesn't hit the ball incredibly hard, but what we do notice here is that generally speaking, the numbers tend to back it up. His XBA, xSlug, xWOBA, all of those numbers, hard hit percentage, are all in the top 10 of Major League, or top 10 percentile of Major League Baseball this year. And in particular, he's got an XBA of 320 this season, as opposed to his XBA of 243 from the full year last year. Now, again, and had we done this episode last week, I would have said that Tony La Russa is an idiot and was holding him back because he was platooning him with Gavin Sheets for some reason. And I still think the first part of that is true. I still don't think Tony La Russa is good as a manager in the year of our Lord 2022, but because of the injuries to both Luis Robert, who's now back, and Eloy Jimenez, he's been playing every day. And we're finally getting to see the top prospect kind of break its way out. And at least after this year, he might have a more consistent spot defensively. They've been kind of moving him around, playing some at DH, some at first base, some in the outfield. I believe Jose Abreu, his contract is up after this year. He's also 30. He's going to be 36 by the start of next season. So the turnover is coming for Andrew Vaughn. But I do have one more player here. And that's a player that I think is genuinely underrated. I think people don't quite understand how good this guy is at baseball. And that is a pitcher. He's a guy who throws the balls. And a guy where if we take a look at the Baseball Savant page, you're going to see a whole lot of red as well. And that's Joe Musgrove of the San Diego Padres. So had a pretty good year last year, I would say. Did he threw a no-hitter last year, right?
Yes, he did.
Right. Threw a no-hitter last year. Good at baseball. Usually the story with Joe Musgrove is that he couldn't stay healthy. I think a lot of, as you can see here, if you look at the percentage of pitches here, a lot of his fallbacks in Pittsburgh can largely be attributed to the Pittsburgh pitching, the coaching staff there, which is a long documented thing. They've had plenty of guys come and go who have simply just magically gotten better after they've left the Pittsburgh Pirates. I'm looking at Garrett Cole. I'm looking at Joe Musgrove. I'm looking at Tyler Glass now. I'm looking at Charlie Morton even. If you want to throw in that example.
Morton's resurgence came in Pittsburgh.
Is that true?
Yeah, he had a couple of really good years with the Pirates. That's what got him onto the Phillies when he got hurt.
But anywho, so I think largely, and a couple of pitchers in particular have talked about this, is that they kind of went with the we got a good season out of, who the hell was it? What's my joke that I usually use?
For Pittsburgh?
This is a bad time to not remember your joke. Yeah.
Francisco Liriano?
Well, that, but give me 1 second.
AJ Burnett?
No, sorry. It was, we got good numbers out of Yankees legend Ivan Nova in 2016.
Oh, Ivan
So
Nova.
why don't we just do the same thing with all of our pitchers? Which, as you can see here in Joe Musgrove's pitch mix, is a heavy dosage of the four-seamer, usually up in the zone, and throwing in a couple other pitches that may or may not work. As you see here, 2021 was his first year last year with San Diego, and that pitch mix changed drastically. You threw the fastball quite a bit less, specifically the cutter a lot more. And this year, I think what's caused this even more pronounced breakout, as you see here, with again a lot of red on these rate stats here, is that I think they've finally figured out the kind of pitch mix that he should be using. One that focuses a lot on the four-seamer and the slider, and throws his curveball a lot less than he has been the last couple of years. And in particular, this changeup kind of replacing that curveball as it's moving up here in the pitch mix. So Joe Musgrove, at least to me, has made tangible changes that have truly unlocked his potential. And that dude's the guy. He's one of my guys. One of my guys. I like me some Joe Musgrove.
Back-to-back dark horse pick for NL Cy Young for me.
Yeah.
There was something I was going to say about Andrew Vaughn. I forgot what it was. I believe the highest drafted right-handed hitting first baseman ever.
Damn.
When he was picked 4th overall. There's a weird stigma about right-handed first baseman, and they never get drafted highly because, for whatever reason, people say they're not good.
Interesting. Miguel Cabrera exists. I know he wasn't drafted as a first baseman, so that throws a wrench into it. Albert Pujols exists.
Yeah. I believe, was he signed?
I believe he was signed as an international free agent.
Well, yeah, he was 37 by the time he signed.
He went to high school in Florida, so no, never mind. He was just drafted later than Andrew Vaughn.
Give me 1 second. But anyways, keep talking.
But my guy for most underrated is a guy that I think he's not. I'm not going to sit here and say he's a great player. He's a really good player that doesn't get talked about enough because he plays on the same team as Vladimir Guerrero Jr. and Bo Bichette and George Springer, and had Marcus Semien last year. And there's all this talk about the Blue Jays and not enough talk about Lourdes Gurriel Jr.
That guy's good.
This guy is just solid as a rock. He doesn't walk a ton. He's not going to go out there and put up a 380 on base. It'll be about 340 probably. But he's going to hit his 20 home runs. He's going to hit 285. He's going to play solid defense in left field. And guys like that, I feel like, don't get talked about, that are just really solid, really good baseball players. And no one cares about Lourdes Gurriel Jr. because he's going to hit 7th in that lineup, but he's still going to drive in 85 to 95 runs, and he's going to give you a really solid production.
Just to rehash on the Albert Pujols draft stock, he was taken 402nd overall.
Nice.
This is a 13th round draft pick.
Great scouting there.
The Machine. Also, Josh, I don't know if you had any action on the NHL playoffs tonight, but I did. In particular, I had I talked to one of my professors earlier today who's a big hockey guy. And he's like, oh, I don't know about the playoff overs. Because I was like, I like the over in the Edmonton LA game. He was like, oh, I don't know about the playoff overs. We're halfway through game time. We're 30 minutes in. The over is already confirmed. So.
Did Edmonton light it?
Yes, they just scored to tie it. Yeah.
Nice.
The total was 6. We're at 6 goals. It's 3 apiece. So we're guaranteed. Yep. We're guaranteed to hit the over here in old Edmonton. So that's a little sidebar. But
that sounds like a man that bet the under.
Me?
Yeah.
No. Edmonton.
Oh, okay.
I see. Yeah. So we got one more thing to go in. And that's going to be what I called earlier, the Travis Ishikawa Award. Mark, if you could pull up the clip of Travis Ishikawa.
Doing it right now.
It'll better explain this award. So the Travis Ishikawa award, if you remember correctly, Travis Ishikawa hit. Was it a walk-off, Mark? I don't remember.
Oh, yeah.
Walk-off in 2014, right? The NLCS.
Mm-hmm.
Game 6, if I remember correctly.
Game 5.
Game 5 of the 2014
There's an ad.
NLCS.
Give me a moment.
Yeah, Mark is pulling it up right now. So this award is going to a player that wasn't or isn't, he could still be active, wasn't or isn't very good at baseball. Maybe it just never worked out. Maybe injuries got him. Maybe whatever. Maybe he just wasn't very good. We'll watch the hit right now, though.
Travis Ishikawa hits one into right. The Giants win the pennant.
Yeah. And Travis Ishikawa, give me 1 second here, was a fella who had a career WAR in 8 seasons of 1. Career 255 batter, 23 career regular season home runs. But in the hearts of Giants fans and baseball fans everywhere, Travis Ishikawa is forever immortalized for this particular moment. So we wanted to pay tribute to some of the fallen soldiers, some of the guys who maybe weren't that good, but that we'll remember them forever for this one moment. I can't tell if Josh is frozen or if he's falling asleep at his computer.
No, I'm here.
Okay. So Josh, we're going to start with you. I know Mark already has your clip right. I would like to watch the clips of these as well. I believe Mark already has yours.
Should I set the scene?
Mark, yeah, you can set the scene. Mark, do you want me to send it to you on Twitter or in the chat here?
You can send it in the private chat.
Okay.
So mine, we go to June 2nd, 2010. Okay. I got a brand new TV that day for my birthday. That day. It's the LG that I'm looking at right now, baby. It's a beautiful, beautiful TV. And when I originally said this award, you said it the way you kind of framed it, and you did say it at the end, but it's not just necessarily good things. They're moments, right? And this is a moment that lives forever. Good or bad. Fuck, I could have said Jim Joyce, but no. I go with Armando Galarraga.
Play the clip.
If Austin was here, it had to have been his.
Ground ball, right side. Cabrera will cut it off. Galarraga covers. He's out. No!
Every time I watch it, I feel the same way. I mean, look at that poor fucker's face.
Yeah.
I mean, I
Even Miggy
remember
looks sad.
It was one of those times I was watching the same game my dad was downstairs, and we're yelling to each other. And so I go, "He did it! He did it!" And then I come downstairs to talk to him. He goes, "No. They called him safe." I was like, ah. And it was, I remember clear as day, blasphemy. I mean,
Yeah.
so.
Just to clarify, or just to let the people know at home if they haven't seen it, Andre Galarraga was 1 out away from recording a perfect game. And on this throw here, as we see from Miguel Cabrera, clearly
not even close.
Not even close.
I mean, a stride away
to being safe.
We'll get Mickey celebrate. And then
got jobbed by whatever pathetic loser was working first base.
Jim Joyce.
Jim
a
Joyce.
Name that will live in infamy.
Oh my God. That was the talk of baseball. I mean, baseball needed something, but baseball, that was the talk of it for fucking, I felt like the entire summer.
Yeah.
A perfect game is like.
Mark, if you could cue up my clip.
Yeah.
I'm going to set the stage as well.
Oh, boy.
October. Oh, God. What day was it? Give me 1 second.
This was posted on the 14th. So
right. I'm just making sure that it was correct.
Hey, you couldn't get a video with better top quality than 360.
I'm sorry.
That's fine.
Oh,
yeah, my guy got me a better video.
Silly guy.
Jamie pulled up a better video for me.
Be quiet. All right, October 8th, 2017. The first time in which the first season in which I really became a baseball fan. I watched plenty of Yankees games that year, and fell in love with the ragtag group of guys the Yankees had on the roster that year. I mean, it's a team that I think genuinely wasn't expected to be very good. And yet they ended up being so close to making it to the World Series. But before that, even to get to the place where they would lose to the Astros in the 2017 ALCS, we have the 2017 ALDS. And a man that can only be described as a guy that fooled us into thinking he was good at baseball for a moment. Mark, if you can pull the clip up, you'll see that it is Yankees first baseman Greg Bird. And this game 3 of the 2017 ALDS, in which Greg Bird hit an absolute tank off of Andrew Miller to put the Yankees up 1-0 in the bottom of the 7th in a game that they would eventually win. And this wasn't the only home run that Greg Bird had that postseason that mattered. Like I said, Greg Bird and Didi Gregorius single-handedly carried this Yankees team to the ALCS that year. And although Greg Bird was never good, he did, like I said, he did get us thinking about how he might be good. And as a Yankees fan, at least, I'll forever remember him for that particular moment.
Did he get a contract out of that?
He got DFA'd.
Damn.
Injuries did really ruin Greg Bird. I mean, he just could never stay on the field. But for my pick, we also go to my favorite team in a year that will live on forever in the city of Boston, 2013. And of course, the Red Sox won the World Series that year after an absolute tragedy took place in April with the Boston Marathon bombings. Their first game back was on April 20th, 4/20/2013. And as I was sitting in my living room, quote unquote, homesick from school, and definitely didn't just want to watch an 11 a.m. Red Sox game because this was not on Patriots Day, but it was the game to be played that would have been played on Patriots Day that day, or that year. This man came to the plate, and he did have a really good year that year for the Red Sox, but his career wasn't much. Daniel Nava comes to the plate in the 8th inning.
Nava hits it in the air to right field. Francoeur going back. He's at the wall. Boston, this is for you. A 3-run home run for Daniel Nava puts the Sox on top, 4-2.
As I was watching that, I was biting into a chocolate chip cookie that ended up taking a crown out of my teeth that I had on since I was 5 years old. I jumped up in excitement with Don Orsillo's fantastic call of Boston, this is for you. The entire city erupts. The Red Sox, of course, go on to win the game. And that was the day I realized that the Red Sox were going to win the World Series that year. And of course they did.
It was the only time I'll ever believe the Team of Destiny title. After that game, there's zero shot.
Mm-hmm.
The Yankees were, or the Yankees, the Yankees. There's zero shot. The Boston Red Sox were not winning the World Series that year.
Mm-hmm.
So shout out to the Travis Nawa, to the Greg Bird, to the Andres Galarraga. What?
Armando.
Andres Galarraga was the big
he
cat.
gets one segment for his own good, and he can't even get his name right in
First
there.
of all, this is like the 8th time you've brought him up on this podcast.
True.
You also just said Travis Nava.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, you did.
No, I didn't. I said Nawa.
Ishikawa?
No, the guy for the Red Sox. What the hell is his name?
Daniel Nava.
Daniel Nava. Oh my god.
It's just too late, man. It's too late.
It's your fault, Josh.
I know.
It's the Travis Ishikawa Award. And that about does it for this fun little episode of the Hot Stove. Quick plugs on the way out. Make sure to follow us on Twitter, Hot Stove Podcast, or Hot Stove Pod on Twitter. That's Hot Stove.
It's all at the bottom.
On Twitter. It's at the bottom. You've been looking at it the whole damn time. Here on the YouTube channel, subscribe to the channel, like the video, all that jazz. Leave a comment. Who's your favorite baseball player of all time? Who wins the Travis Ishikawa Award in your book? Who wins the Daniel Nava Award in your book? I did the names right this time. Who wins the Armando Galarraga Award? How about that? I did the thing. Other than that, for these two fine gentlemen, I'm your host, Zach Nunez, and we will see you next time.